In this tutorial, I'm going to go over fusion compositions and fusion clips and the difference between the two. So with a fusion composition, you would create a composition by right-clicking in your media pool and clicking New Fusion Composition. This allows you to set your target frame rate and the clip name. For this, we're just going to do it tutorial comp. Okay, our tutorial comp is 5 seconds. So if I take this tutorial comp right here and I drag it into the timeline, you're going to see that our tutorial comp is at 5 seconds. It's locked at 5 seconds. Now, if I were to open this in Fusion at 5 seconds, you're going to notice that the timeline is also 5 seconds. Which is 299 frames, technically. So, at 60 frames per second, 5 seconds is 290 frames. If we made this longer, let's say we made it to 10 seconds, which, there we go. So, let's turn on snapping and snap it to this. Now we look at the fusion, and now it has doubled to 599, so it is now at 600 frames. So that is 10 frames at 60 frames per second. We've got our media out, which is the media out on the timeline, and we've got our media in. We don't have a media in. All we did was change this tutorial comp to be longer. This was the original. This is the one now. Now, if you wanted to save this and be able to open it up later, you would drag it into your timeline, and then you would have I keep grabbing the wrong one. You would have the 10-second version. So if I delete this, you're going to notice that one's fine. If I delete this one, those are also fine. So once you've created a fusion composition, as long as you're not going to use it right then and there in your media pool, you're fine. You can delete it. It's just a placeholder. Once you are happy with the size, you can grab it and drag it into your media pool. Once it's in your media pool, you can go ahead and edit it. So we can edit it by opening it up in Fusion. Open in Fusion page. Now, you've got media out and media in. Your media in is anything you pull into it via the media pool. So we're just going to pull in Pikachu. We're going to put Pikachu in here, and boom, we've got our little Pikachu. It's at 10 seconds. Let's put Pikachu on the end, or the very beginning up here. We're going to go ahead and very, very quickly animate Pikachu, just to show you what it does. So let's put Pikachu off of the map, or off of the canvas for right now. And by the way, you'll notice that the canvas is set to 413. This is because Pikachu is our media in. Our media in determines what size our comp is. That doesn't matter right this minute, but it will definitely matter later on. So we've got our transform node. We've animated Pikachu on the first frame. You want to add an animation keyframe. And then let's go about halfway through, and we're going to put Pikachu in the middle. We want him to bounce up just slightly. Go forward a couple of frames. And then go back to center. And then we're going to go ahead and add a keyframe here. So he's going to very slowly enter the frame. Let me pause so I can see it a little bit better. There we go. Pause so we can see the animation a little bit better. So he's going to very slowly enter the frame. And pop up. Go to center, and here he's going to exit the frame. So if we play back here, it's going to go, and boom, gone. Not a very smooth animation, but you get the drift. If I were to go and make this smaller and go back into here, I messed up my animation because I've cut off the size of my clip, if that makes sense. Now, if we were to animate Pikachu, Pikachu is freaking tiny. Look at this. Look how freaking tiny he is. He's 1 second, 1 millisecond. So if I were to create a Fusion clip with this and open it in Fusion, all you have is this 1 millisecond. It is not enough frames for DaVinci to even know what to do. So always try to create a Fusion comp, not a Fusion clip. If you need a fusion clip for a specific distance, what I would recommend doing is find out what the distance is. So like right here, I need this animated check mark. This animated check mark is one of my animations that I'm going to be putting in my project. So if I, excuse me, if I use a new fusion clip here, and I drag my fusion clip into DaVinci, which you don't need to, but I do just because when I'm working on it, I prefer to work on it in the timeline. And I go back over to Fusion. It's going to open this up. It's going to open up my check mark. I don't have it rendered, so it's going to go kind of slow. I don't have my render on. My render cache. Or cache, however people say it. I say cache, so it takes a minute. And there you go. It's very smooth. So this is my check mark. And I would merge this over another. And then I would bring in, let's say, Pikachu. And merge it on top. Or actually, no. This would merge. This would be behind here. So Pikachu would merge. Wait 1 second. Pikachu would merge into here. This would go into this. And then this would go into this. There you go. And, like I said, Pikachu is determining the size. So how you fix that is instead of using Pikachu as your background, right? You want to use a background node. So, for example, let's take Pikachu out of here. Put a background node. And put a background into here. You're going to notice that the background is set to that image. Now, you're going to notice it still hasn't fixed. So, why is that? If we take these out of here, you're going to notice that it works just fine. So, the reason this is because it is taking the media in as your background size. Now, if you notice, my media in is quite massive. Or my merge up here is quite massive for some strange reason. Don't ask me. I don't really know why it's that big. But anyways, so you've got your background, and if we merge this on top of the background, it merges now. We can actually delete this merge. You want to have the background merged into media out first, and then you would merge your other layers. These two are layers on top of the background. So now I have Pikachu in the front, and I have my check mark at the back, which I want it reversed. So I just select, drag, select, and shift, drag, and drop. That way Pikachu is in the back. I can't see Pikachu, so I'm going to add a transform node, and I'm going to blow up the size. Oh, that's not Pikachu. Pikachu will be over here. I even make that problem sometimes. This is Pikachu. That's Pikachu right there. Pikachu needs to be bigger. And for some reason, we can't see it. I'm actually not sure why. I figured out why I can't see Pikachu. This image here is not working correctly. So if I were to merge this image over my merge node, Pikachu gets replaced. My Pikachu's not there anymore. He's gone. So if we do out, see Pikachu's not there anymore. Which I'm trying to figure out why. I think it is because... Okay, I figured it out. It was because I had this alpha too high, and the way that I had my layers laid out, it was messing with the channels. So now, we've got the Media 3, which is our Pikachu, or Media 2, which is our Pikachu. We've transformed Pikachu to make them a little bit bigger. We're going to put him in the middle. Then we've got this merge node, which merges it on top of the background. The background is an alpha channel. Then the merge node goes into another merge node, which allows media 1 to be there, which is the checkbox. Then the checkbox is merged on top of this merge. You can think of it as everything to this side, closer to the media out, is on top. At least when you've got it laid out like this. Some people prefer to lay it out in layers, so it would be more like this, where you would have it to the side, so that you can tell this is on top, this is in the middle, this is on the bottom. A lot of people do prefer that method too. I've done that way as well. And then this is your media out. I've done that too. So whichever way works for you to understand it. This actually kind of makes more sense just because you're able to see the different layers, at least when it's minimal like this. When you have tons and tons of nodes, this becomes a little bit messy. But anywho, so we've got Pikachu, we've got the checkbox, which is on top, we got Pikachu, which is behind. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to actually put it back to how I'm used to it, because this is messy for me. There we go. Maybe. Now I'm confused. Hold on a minute. I messed it all up just so I could show you guys, and now I'm confused. There you go. Merge, merge, media out, media in, transform, media 2. There we go. Okay, so this is how I prefer to do it. I just prefer to do it. This is the lowest layer. This is the higher layer. Then, what you're going to do is, if you play through this, you're going to see that it animates in. There's Pikachu in the back. I'm going to make a checkbox with this. This is going to be in the next tutorial. This is how I'm creating I guess an animation of sorts for my video, my big video that I'm working on. But this is how you use basic Fusion clips and the layout, I suppose. And the difference between Fusion clips and Fusion compositions. And there's our little Pikachu. He zooms in, pops up, and then boom, off screen. There you go.